Look at this awesome shirt. Isn't it season appropriate? Every time I sit down to film, my cat decides to do her very important cat business, if you know what I mean. Hello fellow readers and readresses, and welcome to the 9th, I think, installment of The Lord of the Reeds, the most precious TBR game. We are today going to select my TBR for the month of November, and I am super excited about this because I'm excited every month. This is basically my favorite thing to do, pick the books that I'm gonna read. Are you done? How long does it take to bury something so small? Or is it small? Yowza. So what is The Lord of the Reeds? It is a TBR game inspired by The Lord of the Rings and created by me. This is, as I mentioned already, the 9th installment of the game, but if you'd like to learn more about it, I will advise you to go ahead and watch the playlist. I will link it over here. And if you'd like to know more about the rules, they're very simple, but I'm gonna send you to last month me so she can explain them to you, because I'm filming this at night and I am way too tired to be doing this right now. Take it away, past me. We begin with 2 6-sided dice, which we roll 5 times to get 5 books. We roll the dice, we move across them up, counterclockwise for some reason, I don't know why, it's just how I started it. Then we land on a tile and we pick a book to correspond to the prompt on this tile. Speaking of tiles, we have several kinds, the first of which is the empty tile. This one has no prompt, therefore, upon landing on which, we're gonna select a book from my bookshelf jar, which contains all the books that I currently have that I haven't yet read. Then we have the 2023 TBR jar tile. When we land on this one, we're gonna select a book from my 2023 TBR jar, which contains all the books that I have deemed a must-read for 2023. Next, we have the series jar. When we land on this one, we're gonna dip into my series pot, which contains all the series that I'm currently in the middle of reading. We have over 50 of those over here, and yes, I'm very ashamed about it. Next, we have probably my favorite tile of all, and that is the prompt cards. When we land on this tile, we're gonna select one of my prompt cards. We have over 40 of those, and each of them has a book-related prompt, and we're gonna read a book to correspond to that prompt. Then we have all the genre tiles. We have fantasy, science fiction, non-fiction, historical fiction, classics, manga, graphic novels, thriller. I think those are all of them. Either way, they're right here. When we land on one of these tiles, we're gonna select a book that matches the corresponding genre. Next, we have the +1 book tile. When we land on this one, we're gonna select a book from the bookshelf jar, and we're gonna add an extra roll to this month's TBR. Then we have the bookstore tile. When we land on this one, I'm gonna go either to the library or the bookstore and select a book to read from there. And last, but definitely not least, we have the mission style. When we land on this one, we're gonna select one of the mission cards. We originally had 9 of those, now we only have 4. Each of those cards contains a special mission that I need to fulfill in order to unlock one of the characters from the Fellowship of the Reed. Upon gathering all the characters from the Fellowship, I'm gonna treat myself to a book haul since I am currently on a book buying ban. And those are all the rules of the game. If you'd like to play it yourself, I have provided both digital and a printable version in the video description. There is only one small change that's going to be added to the rules starting from this month, and it was suggested to me by the lovely Amanda from the channel Amanda's Booktopia. So she commented under my last TBR that it would be great if I added an extra roll to this month's TBR if I roll doubles, which actually is a great suggestion, and as she mentioned, it's gonna make the game more interesting. So we're gonna do it and see how it goes, and thank you very much, Amanda, for this awesome suggestion. I think that's enough talk for now. Let's get into roll number 1. And we have a 10. Are you kidding me? Thanks, Amanda. Well, what a great start. Let's see where we're gonna end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. At least we landed on the prompt cards. Nice. Isn't that just terrific? Don't you just love it when this happens? Let's see. Let's choose this card. A book set in a place you want to visit. Okay, that is lovely. Let me think about it. Okay, this took a tremendously long time because it turns out that all the books that I want to read are kind of set up in terrible places and worlds, even the imaginary ones. So I decided to be super basic and use the fact that I'm Bulgarian and European and haven't traveled out of Europe so that I can read the book Without Fail by Lee Child, which is set in the US, which probably a lot of you are from, but I have never been there because, again, I haven't traveled out of Europe. This is book number 6, I believe, in the Jack Reacher series and is the next one in the series that I was about to read. I've been wanting to read it for a while now, but due to one circumstance or another, I didn't. So now I'm gonna do it. I'm really excited about it. I'm really looking forward to it. Jack Reacher's series has quickly become one of my favorite series and one of my favorite palate cleansers, if you will. If you haven't read this series and you like political and military and high action and intrigue series with a lot of twists and turns, I highly recommend you this one. It's really fun. Okay, book number 1 has been selected and I'm really happy for it. I can't wait to read it, but we have added an extra roll to this month's TBR, unfortunately, so now we have 5 more to go. So let's go into roll number 2. And we have an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, and we landed on sci-fi. Very nice. Okay, sci-fi is a good prompt. I've been wanting to read a sci-fi book and I have a big amount of books that I can choose from, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, this did not take long at all. I decided to go with Abaddon's Gate by James S.A. Corey. This is an adult sci-fi novel and the 3rd book in the Expanse series. The review for the first book from this series, Leviathan Wakes, actually is the first video on this channel and it's one of my favorite ones, even though it's terribly cringy. I absolutely love this series and I can't wait to continue with it. It's full of action with amazing characters, with amazing places. All of it is currently situated in the solar system, so that is one of my favorite things. I am so looking forward to reading this. Okay, so great first 2 books from this TBR. Let's go into roll number 3. And we have an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow, mystery and thriller, nice. Okay, so I guess we're landing on genres this month, which doesn't happen very often, so I'm excited about this. I'm gonna go check the mystery/thriller books that I own and we're gonna figure out what I'm gonna read next. This took me exactly 20 seconds and the book that I selected is The Sign of the Four by Agatha Christie. This is book number 5, I believe, in Hercule Poirot series, which I'm pretty sure everybody knows. It's one of my favorite series and Agatha Christie is one of my favorite authors, so I'm really looking forward to reading this one. It's fairly short, I think. It's about 220 pages, so it's gonna take me no time to read. If you're not familiar with the synopsis of this series, we follow the detective Hercule Poirot, who's Belgian and travels around usually and solves mysteries. I don't know the synopsis of this particular one, but I'm not gonna read it because I prefer to go into these books blind. So 3 books down, 0 fantasy so far, which is really surprising to me, but let's continue with roll number 4. And we have, oh come on, we have an 8. Amanda, no, I believe this is the 3rd 8 in a row. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we landed on manga. Okay, so the Amanda effect strikes again, and we landed on another genre tile, which is unheard of. 3 in a row, absolutely never happened. I'm gonna go look through my mangas, and I'm pretty sure I already know what I'm gonna read actually. Give me a second. I'm back and I selected what I thought I was gonna, and that is Full Metal Alchemist Volume 6. This is so far my favorite manga series, and granted I haven't read that many, so take that as you will, but I watched the anime related to this back in the day, but only to a certain point, and I have already read through that point, so I don't know what's gonna happen in the story from now on. I am super excited. As I mentioned, one of my favorite ones. It follows 2 brothers who lose their mom, and in their attempt to bring her back to life using alchemy, one of them loses a leg and an arm, and the other one his entire body. So now they're going around trying to restore their bodies and learning more about alchemy, learning more about the secrets of the world, and we do the same alongside them. I am super excited to read this, really happy with this choice, can't wait. Might actually start already tonight. So 4 books down, and what is it, 3 more to go? This is gonna be a very tough month, I think. Let's go into roll number 5. I hate this. We have a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we landed on the 2023 TBR jar. Don't look at this, my cat scratched the board. Amanda, I don't know what I've done to you, but I sincerely apologize for whatever it was, because This is becoming very, very difficult. Let's see. This one. Oh, this is written in Bulgarian, but it says East of the West. East of the West is a collection of short stories by a Bulgarian author, Miroslav Penkov, who has lived in the US for many, many years, and being that he missed Bulgaria a lot, he wrote these short stories to represent the Bulgarian spirit and kind of generally the way that we are, because we are a little bit weird. I guess like every other nation, we have our own specific things, and I was very, very interested in reading this one. It was also recommended to me by a friend of mine. Unfortunately, I do not own it yet, so I'm gonna go to the library and try to borrow it from there. If not, I'm gonna go ahead and try to purchase it from somewhere or borrow it from a friend. We'll see how I go about this. This is a very good choice actually, and I'm really, really happy for it. Okay, so we selected 5 books, and somehow we still have 3 to select. This month is turning into a nightmare, so let's go into roll number 6. Oh, come on, please, no doubles. And we have a 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. What? We landed on historical fiction. Nice. 4 genre landings in the same month is absolutely unheard of. I'm gonna go look through my historical fictions and try to select something that I want to read this month. I was able to select a book that I'm super, super interested in. A friend of mine recommended it to me highly, and that is Pachinko by Min-jin Lee. This is a historical fiction about a Korean woman, I believe, that marries because she has to a man and then learns to love him or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. I try to stay away from synopsises. I think it's synopsises in general, so that I don't spoil myself, and I'm not entirely sure what the story is about, but my friend said that it's absolutely phenomenal, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. It's a little bit long, just like the majority of the books that I selected, so it's gonna be a difficult month, I think, but I am excited about this. Okay. We have selected 6 books so far, and not only do we have 2 more to go still, but we have selected 0 fantasy books so far, and that is completely mind-blowing to me. Let's go into roll number 7. And we have a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we landed on the prompt cards again. Nice. Let's see what the prompt cards have for me now. It's gotta be this one. A book from an author you read from and disliked. What a terrible prompt. Who made this? Let me think. Okay, it took me absolutely forever to select a book because I don't have the habit of reading a book by an author and disliking it and then buying a second book by them. But in this case, I had purchased both books before I read anything by the author because there is a lot of hype around her. And the author is Olivia Blake. The book that I read by her is Alone with You in the Ether, and I thought her writing was pretentious and meandering and nonsensical, and I absolutely hated both main characters, and I absolutely hated the book. But I am going to give The Atlas 6 a try because it's a very popular book, and because I own it, and because the prompt card requires me to do so. I'm not looking forward to this, to be honest with you, but I'm hoping against all odds that I'm gonna like this one better than I liked the previous one. Fingers crossed. All right, we have 7 books down and hopefully only 1 more to go, and I'm really hoping it's gonna be something short, so let's go and see. Roll number 8. No doubles, please. And we have a 10. Oh, for a second there, I thought this was a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice. Prompt cards again. Okay, I hope the prompt cards are nicer to me this time because the last prompt was absolutely terrible. Let's see. This one. A book from internet famous author. Okay, so because I'm not entirely sure which authors are popular on the internet, I don't follow up with trends, I'm not on TikTok, so I don't know. I literally Googled authors famous on TikTok, popular on TikTok rather, and the first one that appears in the list that is provided here is Chloe Gong. I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. Turns out that I actually have a book by her that came in a fairy loot box. The book is Immortal Longings. This is obviously a fantasy romance. I don't know if it's adult or young adult, but I think it's safe to say that this is definitely not my thing. If you don't know me very well, I'm not a big romance fan, but in this case, I'm kind of curious because I do love this cover. I generally like the way this book looks. Look at these end pages. This is the cover as well. So the book looks lovely on the outside. I don't know what the content is gonna be. I wouldn't say that I'm excited about this, but I am curious. I guess we'll see. So lo and behold, my TBR for November is going to include Immortal Longings by Chloe Gong, The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake, Pachinko from Min Jin Lee, Full Metal Alchemist Volume 6 by Hiromu Arakawa, The Big Four by Agatha Christie, Abaddon's Gate by James S.A. Corey, Without Fail by Lee Child, and East of the West by Miroslav Penkov. I'm gonna put this down because it is really heavy. But wait, there's more, because this month I am participating in a dragon-themed readathon created by Ash from Books and Ash. I'm gonna link her announcement video in the video description. I am really excited about this one because I love dragons, and this is the first dragon themed readathon that I hear about. Maybe there were others, but I haven't heard of them. And I think I managed to find a book to cover all the prompts from this readathon, and that book is The Dragon's Legacy by Deborah A. Wolf. This is what the cover looks like. This was an impulse buy that I purchased in 2021 on a whim, just seeing it, and I thought it looked interesting. I didn't know anything about the synopsis. I still have no idea what the synopsis is. I suppose it's fantasy because it has all the makings of a fantasy book, and it has dragon on the cover, dragon in the title, and dragon in the theme in general. So I'm really excited about this, very curious for it. And so if you like dragons and you like readathons, you can join this one. It's very chill. I think you're gonna love it. Thank you, Ash, for creating it. Again, I am super hyped for it. On top of that, every single month I participated in 2 monthly reading challenges. The first of which is Adventure in Eldia, created by G from Book Roast, and the second one is the Buzzword Reading Challenge, created by Kayla from Books and Lala. Both of them are gonna be in the video description. Now, the prompt for the Buzzword Reading Challenge for November is the word good, and literally the only book that I own that has the word good in its title and I haven't yet read is The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F, A Counterintuitive Approach to Living a Good Life by the author Mark Manson. I started reading this book a few years ago, as you can see, with a friend of mine, but I never finished it, and I guess now is the time. It's a short book, but I wouldn't say that I'm excited about it. It's a non-fiction book from the self-help variety, and from what I read so far, it is a little shallow, I would say. It borrows heavily from the Stoic movement, and it simplifies things, but it's not entirely consistent in its philosophy. It kind of goes all over the place, but again, I've read only a little bit. Maybe it gets better later on. We'll see. I'm gonna read it. That's it. And the prompt for the Adventure in Eldia reading challenge is Random Number Generator, which is a little scary, but the good news is that I have all the books that I currently own numbered in a table. So I'm gonna put these numbers in a random number generator, and we're gonna see what it's gonna select. Now, obviously, if the random number generator selects a book that I have already read, we're gonna select another one. Let's go. Okay, so we currently have 556 rows filled in the table. I'm gonna put the numbers from 2 to 556, since row number 1 is obviously the headers. So let's run the generator. We have a 30. Let's go to the table and see what lies on row number 30. Where is it? An Ember in the Ashes. I have already read this one, so let's run the generator again. 455. 455. And we have True Betrayals by Nora Roberts. Oh my god, no. What a TBR. True Betrayals by Nora Roberts is a romance, and that's pretty much all I know about it. Why do I have this book? Great question, actually. I saw the cover and I thought it was cute, and I purchased it, and at the time I thought that was a great idea. Now I'm not entirely sure. Again, I have no idea what the book is about, but I'm gonna give it a try, and I'm gonna hope that it's gonna be good. But oh my god, do I not feel like reading this. So For my November TBR, we have a total of 11 books, plus whatever is left from October, which there definitely are books left over from October. You can see my wrap-up over here. This was a very, very interesting TBR, made extra interesting by this new rule that was suggested by Amanda, which thank you, Amanda, for that. I hope you're happy, because I definitely am not. Obviously, I'm just kidding, Amanda, but in case it's not clear, you are lovely. Don't worry about anything. I'm not mad. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I sure enjoyed filming it, even though it was slightly trying at times. Please let me know what you're reading in the month of November. Are you participating in some interesting readathons? Are you reading any of these books? Have you read them? Do you have an opinion on them? Spoiler free, of course. Thank you so much for watching. And if you'd like to see my wrap up for October, check out this video. Bye!